Okay, so I am here today on the side of a mountain, risking my life in order to bring you the best content I know how to bring. This is Vegas in the background, my hometown. I am at Olympia Sports Park. The first thing I want to talk about is the actual blueprint of what I think meditation is. I have an analogy that came to me in one of my sessions that I think describes it pretty perfectly, and it is something that I think is framework that sets me up for understanding and succeeding during my meditation practice each time I sit down to meditate. I call it the U. It's something I've never heard before anywhere else, so I hope that it kind of maybe puts a light off in your head and you can actually resonate more with the action of meditation given this analogy that I'm going to try my best to describe to you right here, right now. So there's three sides to this U. This side, which is the curve, there's the point here where the curves meet, and there's this other curve. Now, whenever you sit down to meditate, you are at the very top end of this U, and the goal is to descend down this U and get to the point where they meet. Okay? The point where they meet is presence. It's pure awareness, energy. It is the entire goal of meditation. It's what everyone talks about when they talk about benefiting from meditation. They're being present. They've gotten to presence. They've shut off their mind and they are now living in a space of right now and of what is. So whenever you start meditating, you start off at the top of this U. And all of this side of the U is your thoughts on autopilot, it's mainstream information, advertisements, things that have directly influenced the way that your thought patterns generate and flow on a day-to-day basis. And your goal is to shut all that off and get down to presence. So whenever I sit down to meditate, I kind of verbally say, okay, it's time to descend down the U. I understand that the process takes time. I have all of this junk, this static energy, this junk thought in my head that I need to calm down, descend down the U, and get to presence. So I allow myself the time to sift through the mess. And I don't expect to just be present off the bat when I sit down and meditate, so I don't get frustrated. So this U is where you start. You start up here, you descend down, and you get to presence. However long it takes. Sometimes it never happens. Sometimes it happens immediately, and sometimes it takes 5 minutes. Sometimes it takes 10 minutes. But the goal is to actually descend down, let go of all your thought through certain tips and tricks, like one-pointed awareness, and then you get down to presence, and then you hang out there for as long as you can. Being there is the gift. It is the best part of meditation, and it is the greatest thing that I can give to you is to be in that presence point. Now, the other side of that U, though, is pretty amazing and pretty special. It's something that comes out of that present point. Once you descend down this U, you get to presence and you're hanging out here. This other side of the U are thoughts, epiphanies, enlightenment, things that come to you that resonate with who you actually are, not who you thought you were over here, not who society told you to be or what the mainstream advertisements want you to buy or want you to consume or want you to do. You shut all that off, you get to presence, and then you have thoughts that come out that resonate with who you are. And those are the thoughts and the images that change lives, help make important decisions, help you actually benefit from meditation. That is where I thought of this U analogy, things that just happen to come to you from present awareness. That entire analogy, I think, frameworks and kind of blueprints out for you what meditation is. It kind of takes some of the guesswork out of the process and the goal and literally what it looks like. So now let's talk quickly about how to actually get to presence, how to actually descend down this U, get to that present point so that you can have these epiphanies and experience the real benefits that people talk about, people claim to have had, and the things that avid meditators receive from being present. Now, there's a lot of tips and tricks, but the underlying framework of each of them from getting down this U is focus. It is single-pointed awareness on a specific thing. There are, I know of at least 20, but I'm sure there are hundreds of ways of doing this. And you'll start to understand. I'll give you 2 or 3 here right now. But the main point is sustained focus on an individual thing that brings you into single-pointed awareness. Mantra is one of them. Watching your breath is another one. Specific image holding is another one. Let's dissect each of these real quick. Mantras. If you want to repeat a mantra out loud or in your head, you are doing the same thing repeatedly for an extended period of time, which eliminates thought. Say you're going Om. Om. You're doing one thing on end for an extended period of time, which eliminates your ability to have thoughts or have your mind run off on tangents, and then that dials you into presence because of your single focus on saying that mantra repeatedly. That's a really big one. That's an important one. There are thousands of mantras. I encourage you to Google one, find one that resonates with you. The second thing that I mentioned is breath awareness. Just literally watching your breath, breathing in and breathing out, breathing in and breathing out. And when you breathe in, you think breathing in and you feel your belly expand. When you breathe out, you think breathing out and you feel your belly do the opposite. You're just watching your breath. And if you can sustain focus on that one thing, it will slowly dial you into that present point awareness. The last thing I mentioned, I said mantra, breath awareness, and specific image holding. People think of their gurus. It's a big thing in the Hindu religion and Buddhism. They think of the Buddha. They think of an idol or a statue or a picture of someone that they resonate with. It could be Christ for you, could be an angel. Think about a specific thing or person, and you hold that thing in mind and just feel what it would feel like to be one with that person. Using a deity works really well, and you're focused on that one thing, and again, that will dial you into present awareness. I can make another video where I have probably 20 or 25 different tips and tricks to dial you down into presence. I have a few favorites of my own. Watching the breath, mantra, and specific image holding are my 3 favorites. And I can really dive into those in a later video and describe each one how I use them. But that is a very good way to descend down this U, get to presence. Now, the last thing I want to talk about here is that other half of the U. When you are in presence awareness, you are not trying to do anything. You're just hanging out. You're just happy to be there. You have reached the goal of meditation to get present, and you have reached it. You're there. You're happy. And now when you have shut off your mind, you will have thoughts. And when you have thoughts, you will feel what they feel like. And then you will know that that is a real thought that came from who you actually are. And then that is a gift that you need to try to either write down immediately, remember it, and act on it, because it's going to actually really benefit your life path in a way that you might not have been aware of before that. There are ways to help bring those things out. You can actually, when you're in presence, ask yourself a question like, should I move out of Vegas? And then just listen. Because you're present and because you're not asking yourself a question while in all of this static mind, you freed yourself from it, it's now gone. You ask a real question, there is a more possible chance of a real answer coming out of this other side of the you. And that is where meditation really becomes magical, because you've shut off everything, you are present, and then you can ask questions, have thoughts, bring things out of presence, and hopefully tap into that higher source that gives you serious answers about serious things. That is what I wanted to talk about here in this video. I just wanted to briefly bring something so that you could apply it right now and hopefully eliminate some of the confusion around meditation and actually benefit from it right now, right away. This is a lifelong practice, though. It is something that takes a very long time to dial in what those emotions feel like and practice actually receiving those benefits. But there's no better time to start than now. Especially with everything going on right now in the COVID, if you have free time, start trying to meditate. Start sitting down, set a timer for 10 minutes, set the timer off to the side so you don't have to worry about how long you need to sit down for, and then just practice descending down that U, getting into presence, and feeling what that emotion feels like. And if you are feeling frisky, ask yourself a question from presence and see what you kind of find that comes from that. And then when that timer goes off, you can get up and you can be excited that you successfully completed a meditation session. And if nothing happens, and if you aren't able to get present, and if you aren't able to do anything, then at least you waited for that timer to go off and you are still successfully practicing and putting effort into caring about yourself and practicing meditation. There are going to be more videos to come. I'm going to have how-tos. I'm going to be answering all kinds of questions and trying to really make your practice a lot better. But for now, I just wanted to bring a quick video here from my home in Vegas and trying to stay busy during the COVID. I hope you guys are staying safe and staying busy as well. This is a project that I'm going to be working on, and if you are interested in the information and you think I kind of speak well enough and it resonates with you, then subscribe to my channel, like the video, and stay tuned for more to come. Thanks, guys.